We're live.
We're live.
Are we really live?
Actually live. Oh, hang on. Where's you?
There's you. This is our kitchen.
There's our kitchen.
This is our kitchen.
It's our kitchen.
Oh, do you want to end? No, we don't want to end. Oh, it's also technically.
It's all very technically, but no one's on it yet.
Oh, right.
It could be a lonely day.
It could be. Oh, hello.
Hello.
You might have to help. I can't read
Let me put my glasses on because I'm not getting any younger. Hello, Gemma. How are you?
Hello,
Steve.
hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Stephen Hack. How are you, pal?
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello. Oh, look,
Oh,
look
hello.
at that. Lovely.
Texas.
Hi,
Do you know what?
Texas.
I've been to Texas a couple of times. Love it there. You've got a wonderful, wonderful state.
Do you know what? Here you are. You're joining us live in our house.
New Jersey as well.
Hello. Shh.
Sorry,
You're going
I'm
to
sorry.
point to everybody
I'm sorry,
now.
I can't help it.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we're here live, broadcasting from our farmhouse in Cheshire, in the northwest of England. And if you hear any strange noises,
let me show you.
we'll just make sure that everywhere's tidy, and we don't want any of your undergarments on parade.
No, I was going to get.
Oh, sorry. That strange burping noise.
Is that?
It's not. No, it's. You won't see him yet, but some of you who might have seen a couple of the episodes on YouTube will have seen our newest member to the team. And here he is. He's had a little fight with our Jack Russell, but this is Watson, and he's thinking it's 3 o'clock in the morning this time. There he is. This is Watson. He's the haunted dog.
He is in a couple of series time, and he's very good, aren't you? He's actually more welcome in the house than I am.
Oh, you are.
Hello.
Oh, say hello. Say hello to America. There you go. Hello. There you are. Please don't fart right now.
You talk to me as the dog.
No, not while your bum's right in our faces.
Come on, mate. Look, he's a typical.
Okay.
He just wants the limelight.
Yeah. So whenever you hear strange noises, did he get you right in the private?
He did.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that's Watson. So he appears on season
Something.
I
think he's on the next season, isn't he?
No, he's the one after that.
Is he on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a couple of seasons away.
Yeah, you guys are a little bit behind us in the UK with the seasons. I hope you're really enjoying it, the show so far. A lot of you sort of mentioned about Leah, who does do more screaming than I do, and Leah is only on for a few more programs.
Yeah, the season that you've got now. The reason we put Leah on was a lot of people here in the UK, when they watched the shows, they kept saying earlier on, why don't you bring a member of the public on? And so we did, didn't we?
Yes.
We brought Leah. Unfortunately, she was that scared. We have tried it before, but they've left because they're just too scared for what's gone on. But we've also had cameramen leave and all of that. So, so that's what we brought someone from the public on, and she got very scared at just about absolutely everything. But then again, it's quite scary.
It is a very, very scary thing.
Now tonight, your tonight's episode is Anderson Funeral Parlour.
Oh, you'll love it. It's one of my favourite places. We've the things that we experienced there. For me, we captured some fantastic footage where Karl and Stuart did. You were downstairs and you hear a noise upstairs. Should we tell them what it is?
Don't say too much.
No,
I don't want to
I won't
spoil
say
it for
too
you
much.
guys because it's a great episode.
Yeah.
It was really scary.
And we
it?
get some great EVP in that particular location. It's got some fantastic history, and it's a really spooky place.
Is she gorgeous?
No, I'm not. Not at 3:10 in the morning. Our
it's 3:10 in the morning. Over.
It's dedication for you. That's how much we love you. I actually got into bed about midnight. I'm just going to rest my eyes, and then you came in and said, "Come on, let's get up. Let's go and talk to everybody in America." So we're just so thrilled that we're actually back on. So that you can see us, because I know you guys a lot of you have been emailing in and getting in touch with us via Facebook and Twitter saying, when are you guys coming back over to the States? Well, we're here. So thanks very, very much to the Travel Channel for putting the programme back on, and we hope that you'll be able to see the series that are currently airing over in the UK, that you get them.
and also the Travel Channel's obviously been really the forerunner for all the paranormal programs you guys get in the States, and they did with us. It was the Travel Channel that kind of got us over and championed us when we came over to you. Crumbs, 10
years ago, was
more than
it?
10, 12 years ago first, and then we used to do those epic 7-hour lives, which we absolutely loved.
Cool.
I mean, you guys have got some of the best haunted places in the world, and we are going to be coming over there and doing some stuff.
That would be great. Now, sorry, for those of you who've just joined, if you hear strange noises, burping or farting, it isn't actually Karl or myself. It's our British bulldog Watson, who's the newest member of the Most Haunted team, and he's very, very funny. Now, also, if helping us tonight,
because it's all about tech.
And we're really rubbish. Well, Karl's better than I am. Is our beautiful daughter Mary.
Hello, I'm not showing my face because I've got my pyjamas on.
Yeah, and Mary also makes an appearance on Future Most Haunted, and she does a fantastic job. She's much braver than me. And I cannot see anything, Mary. So if there's any questions that sort of jump out at you, if anybody particularly wants to say hello, join in with your dad. And
yeah, if there's any questions, actually, Mary, can you read them out to us?
Yeah, sure. Let me show you.
My eyes don't focus very well in the daytime, let alone this time in the morning.
Yeah.
But I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. They've had 1 or 2 episodes, I think, over there. But tonight's one is a good one. I get into a coffin. I won't say what happens in there, but I get into a coffin, not for the first time, and obviously not for the last. Obviously, I get out of this one. There will be a time when I don't. But and also next week you've got Fort Paul, which is absolutely tremendous. It's a Napoleonic. I don't know why we call it Napoleonic. He got beaten so many times.
Yes,
Napoleon.
well, let's not get into it now. We're talking about, because yes, that oh gosh, it's a very, very cold, massive old fort. Its origins lay with Henry VIII. He built it so that it would be a fortress that could look out over the sea for any invading armies.
We come up with 10.
Yeah, and so he built sort of a network of sort of tunnels underneath, and that really is a very frightening place. And I actually witnessed something that terrified me. And a lot of you, after you watch Fort Paul, will say, "What is it that made you react the way that you did?" Well, I can tell you now. I heard something.
Can't say too much,
Why?
Well,
I want to tell them. No, because that's the big point. What is it that you don't you remember?
Well, we'll tell them next week.
Oh, okay. Not at 3 o'clock in the morning. We won't.
No, we'll tell them on the. I'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, you always are, really. So this is our kitchen. Do you want to read out, Mary? Anything interesting?
Oh, there's quite a few little interesting things.
Go on,
but I don't want to interrupt.
Go on.
Have you had any attachments hard to get rid of at all?
Only the mother-in-law. No, do you know what I've tried? I have really tried, and I can't get rid of her.
He's awful, isn't he? He's awful. Well, no, we haven't. Not that I can think of. We've been absolutely terrified, and I've often thought, has anything followed me home? I, weirdly enough, if I'm coming home on my own from an investigation in a separate car, if we've driven separately, I'll always play Mary Poppins. The soundtrack to Mary Poppins, just to cheer me up, will make me think of something different. And actually, the room that you see now, our house, is haunted, and the kitchen, I'm not going to show you around because I wasn't preparing. We were going to do this in a different room, and if I'd known we were in, don't you show everybody
around. Let's just show you the room. Look, it's fine. Look, we're just going
I'm just going to.
That's Mary. Look, it's just come on.
No, there's bats in there.
There's a bathroom here. But the thing is, we're having our baths done at the moment, so we've got like baths and stuff in there. But anyway, this is our dining room, and there's a suit of, where is it? There, a suit of armour there, and this is our little tabley thing. But this bit is the oldest part of the house, and the foundations of this go back to the medieval times. But the rest of the house, I'm getting a real bad look from my gorgeous wife about showing you the house that's not 100% perfect.
Well, when you have guests coming round for something to eat or something, you want to make sure it's tidy. We've got the whole of the United States, and you've just brought them into the house, and I haven't even cleaned properly. Anyway, this kitchen here, the table that we're sat at, I was on my own alone in this house. And I locked up at night, came down in the morning, and all the chairs around this table were stacked up in a pyramid style on top of the table. And that was really frightening. And sometimes our bedroom is above here. You'd hear furniture being dragged and you think, oh my gosh, what's that? And you come down in the morning and all the chairs would be pushed up against the door that Carl's just gone through. We couldn't get through. We've had all sorts of things happening. We found out that it was a little girl and a little boy, William and
Elizabeth.
Master William and Elizabeth, that's right.
And believe it or not, we give them Christmas presents.
Yes, we do. We give them Christmas presents. And there's a ghost of a cavalier that you've seen.
Outside. I actually thought it was someone in fancy dress who had got into the ground. So I went running out there with my shotgun, as you do. And there was no one there. And then I came back in, sat down, and there he was, still there. So that was quite funny.
Yeah. Do you want to get Watson again? Just so, or just take this. Rather you have to pick him up because he might fart.
He's got a bone. I don't mean he's. Yeah.
Some of the things he says, he's got a bone. And why would you say that? We're live.
No, I said he's got a bone.
Oh.
You gave him a bone with meat in it. That's still not sounding very good.
Just don't push his bum in it.
There he is. Oh, here you go.
Please, Watson, come say hello. I know. There he is.
Now, for those who weren't here earlier, Watson appears in some later episodes. He joins the team as part of our.
Stinky.
You talking to me or the dog?
Oh, you.
As part of the team, and he does a brilliant job, doesn't he?
He does do a brilliant job.
He was only a pup when he started.
I know.
Now he's just a useless waste of meat.
And in hopefully in later series you'll actually see Watson. Look, see, can you see who's that? Who's that there, Watson? Look, Watson, who's that there? Oh, what's that? He doesn't care, does he? Who's that? Oh, what are they saying? Can they see him?
Yeah, I love Watson. Watson is beautiful.
He is beautiful.
He's a beautiful boy.
He is beautiful. Apart from our little Jack. Our little Jack Russell, who you can't see, she's a little girl. He keeps putting his face where it shouldn't be. And of course, Olive, the little Jack Russell, has decided that she's going to nip at his face. So he's in the wars a little bit, aren't you, at the minute, sweetheart? Yes, I love you too. I do. Oh,
do you want to get
say
down?
Goodbye.
Oh, he's heavy.
Oh dear. Oh, and one thing else, I can't speak. If you fancy a bit, it's not most haunted, but it kind of is. It's nothing to do with ghosts. But if you fancy tuning in to myself, Carl, and Glenn, we do a podcast called Anytime, Yvette and Glenn's Anytime Podcast. It's very funny and it's very rude.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
If you're feeling a bit down, have a listen.
And it's all part of the Most Haunted family. So have a listen. That's Yvette and Glenn's Anytime Podcast. So just type that into your Google.
What questions have we got?
Oh, yes.
We have got one that's popped up a few times, which is, what is your favourite paranormal film?
Oh, well, the trouble is paranormal. See, I like Peter Cushing films, and they're not really so much paranormal. They're more sort of monsters that I like. Night of the Big Heat, and which must have been made on about $5 worth of budget, and Island of Terror. They're my two favourites. You go watch them,
I don't watch anything spooky. Watson, will you please settle down? I don't watch anything spooky, anything paranormal. I won't watch paranormal TV. I don't watch any because it scares the living bejesus out of me. And I think people say, oh, I can't believe that. But if you think, if I watch it and then I go and do a Ouija board in a haunted cellar somewhere and then have to travel home on my own, it kind of would mess with my head. I know that sounds strange. But we did watch The Predators. Which isn't really...
Well, it's an old film now.
Yeah, it's an old film.
But for you, it's not.
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat. Oh, it was fabulous. I like anything like that, where it's not like paranormal.
Yeah, that's probably just monster films, isn't it? Which
yeah,
is what I like.
Yeah, I suppose so. What about you, Mary? What do you like?
Oh, I like Insidious. It's really, really bad.
How can you watch
badly
that?
made. It's badly made, but I love it.
But do you know what?
I
actually think that the probably going back to The Exorcist, because that was really the first.
Yes.
Not the first kind of film of its ilk, but it was certainly the first film of its ilk that really touched everyone and made. I mean, you still can't watch it.
No.
You can't watch anything.
No.
Is there any other question?
Go on, Mary.
There was one that was asking about how old our house was.
Well, the foundations of the room I just showed you go back to medieval times, and then the rest of the house kind of grew from there. But the main structure of the house is 1690s, and that's well, that's as far back as the records we can get of people who lived here from then. It goes back slightly further than that, but it's a beautiful old house, and we absolutely love it.
Yeah,
don't we?
it was a house that was during the Civil War a royalist household, and when they did some construction on the house, they found the old crest, the royal crest, which meant that they received royalty, which was nice. And we found musket balls in the side of the house and all sorts of old coins as well, which we found.
When the parliamentarians won against the royalists, they took the people who lived here as a royal stronghold out the back and shot them against the wall,
Nice.
which is nice. And we actually found, when we moved in, there was we had some work done, and we worked out that the external measurements weren't the same as the internal measurements, and there was a room that was blocked off, and there's nothing in it. It was just a room, but under the floorboards,
with a cat.
there's a mummified cat.
Oh, go get the cat, Mary.
Which
it's
is
in the,
a
you know
very
what it is.
strange house.
Oh, yes, we're going to show you the mummified cat that was found under the floorboards.
Yeah, and it's supposed to stop witchcraft, and but it didn't work because obviously the mother-in-law still comes around.
Will you pack it in with the mother-in-law thing? No, she's not a witch.
She's a witch. She's got a pointed hat and a cat and everything. She's got a big
Awful.
cauldron in the kitchen.
Oh, you are awful.
She never gets a cold.
I know. How's everything in America?
Actually, let me
How
put
are
my
you all?
glasses
Yeah,
on so I can read some of these.
now Mary's. I'm blind as a bat, so.
I'll come to my hometown of Savannah, Georgia. Oh, I love Georgia. Georgia's lovely.
Have you been to Georgia? I've never been.
I've been to Georgia. I used to live in. It's not Georgia, but I used to live in North Carolina, in a place called High Point, and I had such a great time there. I met some wonderful, wonderful people. But every time we've been over to America, I mean, when we did all our 7-hour lives, you guys are just fantastic. We absolutely love you. You've got so much passion.
It's filthy though, mind you. It's been in a store cupboard, so forgive the dust. Right then, Mary.
There we go. This is. We've got dogs and cats here.
Yeah.
That's
Can you see that?
Can you see that? Yeah, that's our mummified cat.
There you go.
That's supposed to stop evil spirits coming in the house. Obviously, it doesn't work, as I said.
And can you imagine? So we actually had it hanging on the wall, and in the kids' bathroom. So when they were little, just to go in and brush their teeth. Mummy, I'm scared. Oh, it's all right. It keeps evil away.
Any other questions?
What is the best paranormal advice you can give?
Enjoy it. The one thing is there's often a term bandied around where people call themselves paranormal experts. There is no such thing as a paranormal expert. They're just all of us. If you're investigating the paranormal, all you can do is do your best. Do it the way that works best for you. Some people like to use a lot of machinery. Some people don't. And I think that if whatever works, no one has the right to tell you you're doing it wrong or you're doing it right. Whichever works for you is the right way to do it. Have fun with it. You should have fun with it. It's scary. That's why you need to have fun. That's what we do on the show. We have a lot of fun.
The only experts are the ones that are on the other side.
Yeah, dead ones.
Dead ones, but they're not dead, are they? They're all still alive, but we just can't see them.
Well, they're dead. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the other side.
Yes, I know, but you know what I'm trying to say. Know what I'm trying to say. Any other questions, Mary?
Have you come across a real demon, says Mary?
Apart from you.
Apart from me.
A real demon. We've come across very negative entities and really frightening ones that will come through either on the EVP or they'll knock and tap out, and we use a tapping board. I'm not sure if you have that on the series.
Yeah, I think we started on the series.
So we use a tapping board and it'll spell out the most awful messages and, wants us dead and threatens all sorts of things. And we've seen, actually, you will come across it on one of the episodes that might be hopefully coming your way, is where Karl actually got physically, and Stuart got physically harmed and is scarred to this day. And
I can't see it, but...
Can you see?
Where is it? Just there.
No, it's there.
The camera's up.
There.
Where is it?
Oh.
There it is. There, you got it there. That's actually the scar I've still got from this thing that kind of cut into my arm on camera. We watched it actually appear on camera, didn't we? Which was really good to get. And I think, I mean, for me, the jury's still out on the demon thing. I'm not sure whether there are such a thing as demons. I'm not saying there aren't.
There's negativity.
I think it's negative spirits that just want to cause problems, as there are negative people.
Kathleen says, what do you do with the old items you found?
Keep them.
Sell them on eBay.
No, keep them. In some of the more recent episodes that are being shown in the UK, we've been getting a lot of old pennies dating back, flipping heck,
some of the 1800s and into the right up to about 1960s.
Early 1960s, big old pennies, and they're just falling out of seemingly nowhere, and a lot of them are landing heads up, and we just couldn't understand what it was. And our skeptic Glenn and myself and Karl, we all did a little bit of research and found out that these are supposed to be gifts from the other side, which is just extraordinary. But so we've kept a lot of. In fact, I'll show you one. We've kept a lot of them, but also we've given some away as gifts, haven't we?
Yes, quite often if we're at a location and something appears that isn't there and they don't know what it is, we let the location keep it, because I kind of think if something there is manifested as something, it should stay at the location, really.
So this is, do you want to show? These are just a few of them.
These are just a few of the, that's just I mean, obviously that's a newer coin, so it's a king. That's the sort of reverse. But these are all landing heads up. And, it goes down to the fact that, some people want to know, do you fake anything? You think, well, even if you had someone in the corner throwing pennies, you're not going to have them all landing face up. You just couldn't do it. And that's obviously Queen Victoria. So we're talking, that's late 1800s. I mean, it's pretty worn, to be honest.
Yeah.
But right up until and there's a few of them now. These were 1700 or something.
I think earlier, yes, around them. They were found here in the land just outside here.
Yeah, these ones were.
And they were used for coaching horses, so they were tokens.
No, not these ones. These aren't the tokens.
Are they not?
No, these are actual pennies.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Coins.
We have got another one in there.
Yeah, these are still found here, though.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So there you go. So that answers that question. Anything else?
Have you ever solved any crimes through your paranormal investigations? Nikki asks.
Well, do you know what?
Yes.
There is one, and unfortunately, it's fairly recent, because it's about someone who was hanged, and we seemingly got in contact with the guy that was hanged, and I'm a criminologist, so I like to study crime, and I study my area of kind of expertise is executions, so I kind of knew a little bit about the case, and this person who was hanged, if it wasn't him that was guilty, it could have only been one other person. Now, this guy was hanged in the 60s. Obviously, capital punishment here was abolished in 1964. Well, it was stopped in 1964. And this person said it was this other person that did it. And weirdly, when this prison opened, we went to one of the first people who visited the death cell was the other person who was who was in line for this murder. So, pretty horrible. But we've done it in the past as well with some older stuff that you kind of can mention. It's very difficult to mention.
Yeah, you've got to be careful.
Cases, you don't upset people.
Exactly. But you know what? I absolutely love what we do is we're so blessed. And I feel, and I know Karl does, so I'm speaking for you, that we're very, very blessed. We're very blessed in what we do. And to me, I find it absolutely fascinating when this knocking and tapping starts happening, and you get these letters. And we've had the most extraordinary things come through. And but when you ask them anything about religion or anything like that, they will not answer.
Or the
future, they won't answer. But then there was one time, do you remember? And I said, is there such a thing as reincarnation? And it was the only time, and he tapped out yes. And
we don't know whether it was misleading us.
Well, no, we don't. But what I found extraordinary is I said, do you see this house as you saw it when you were alive? And the person we were talking to said, yes, it was a gentleman. And that's when I said, do you believe in reincarnation? Is there such a thing as reincarnation? And he said, yes. I said, well, why haven't you moved on? And he said, family. So I said, so you want to stay here with your family? Yes. And that to me was really just things like that make this, what we do, just so incredible. And like you say, it could have been misleading or whatever. But for me, I came home that night and I was just like buzzing. I just couldn't believe that we'd spoken to this person, given us a little clue, you know. Whether we believed that or not, I don't know. But it warmed my heart anyway.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we had one where we were, it was Glenn and myself, we were in a room, which you'll see, I think, next series, I think you'll see it. I don't think it's in this series you've got, I think it's in the next one. And we're in a room and we're talking, we're getting these knocks and taps. And it's great because it was with Glenn and, you know, we couldn't work out where the taps were coming from. And we seemed to be contacting someone, a group of spirits, that from I think it was the 1500s. I can't quite remember at the moment because it was a while ago. But they were convinced that we were ghosts, and they were trying to contact us. And they wouldn't believe that it was the year that we said it was, which I think at the time was 2015. That's when we did that show. And it was one of the moments when you finish it, 'cause it was a great investigation. And when it stopped, we just thought, why didn't we ask them to go and place something somewhere? Because if we were truly, and there was some, I don't know, time continuum or whatever, if they could place something somewhere, then we could have gone and dug it up. Because if they're doing it right now, but you know, 300 or 400 years ago, then we would have found it. Well, if it happens again, we will.
We're going to do that if it happens again. Anything else, Mary, before we say goodbye?
Have you ever helped a spirit move on, says Christina.
Yes, Christina, we have, and it's something I'm very, very keen on doing. I get quite emotional when we do it. But we've done it lots of times. I always ask, are you happy? And if a spirit says no or they need help, then we might not be able to show it on camera, but we will not leave that location until we've helped a spirit cross over. And I just think that's really, really important.
I think one of the nice things is we do events. And we do live feeds as well on the events. So you can look those up.
Hi, Jenny.
And I think Jenny runs it. Jenny Bryant is brilliant. And what were we talking about? I've forgotten. Well, you said Jenny and it's taking me off on a side way.
We do events.
Oh, that's it. We do events.
Mid-sentence.
It's early in the morning. I haven't slept. Been in the edit.
Dear.
And quite often we'll get quite a few people that it's a chance to let fans of the show to come along with us and investigate properties. And it's lovely when you'll send, like you've done it in the past, when you send someone across, and there can be a group of 15 people with you, and they, and every single one of them, when they all witness footsteps walking right the way between us into something and then vanishing, and every single one of them saying the atmosphere's changed. And it's lovely. It really is lovely.
We should definitely do most haunted experiences in the US, because then that will give. And I always think that's really important, because obviously you get the people out there that accuse you of faking things and you've been making it up and this, that, and the other. But my answer to that is, well, look, why don't you come and join us? Come and meet myself and Karl and the rest of the team. Come and join us on an investigation. See what we do, and you'll see that actually, on the most haunted experiences, things happen as they do on the TV show, and then you can see for yourself and make up your own mind. And we've got a bit of an army over here in the UK, and they're called the Haunties. And hello, the Haunties. And Mary's on Most Haunted Experience as well.
Hello.
And we really enjoy it, and it's been going for a couple of years now, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And
it's great because people can experience what we experience firsthand, which is really nice.
Can't Mary anymore. Can you hear the snoring, by the way? Listen.
You stopped. I don't know if you heard that, but that's Watson snoring.
That's Karl's bottom.
There was
I am so sorry.
There was one question that was asking, and I can't remember who said it, but they were saying, how did you guys get into investigating
Oh
ghosts?
gosh, that's a long story that we've told
We've
time
always
and
been
time.
interested. We've always
Always,
been interested
yeah.
in it. I think it was it was something that we've both been interested in for a long while. I came in it from a more sceptical point of view, didn't I?
And I just came in it from a screaming, absolutely terrified
Well,
point of view.
it's scary though, and anyone out there, you guys who have done one of these, you know it's scary. Sometimes it's not, and sometimes it is. And I just think we were sitting there. We obviously we both work in television, and we thought, well, why don't we just stay in a haunted house? No one had done it before, and we thought, why don't we stay in a haunted house for the whole night and film it and see what happens? Funnily enough, when we first started we did the pilot, and everyone said, no, a ghost show won't work. No one would watch a ghost show. It's a genre that won't work. But we persevered and got it sold, and here we are. And it's great to see so many other shows, because the more shows we've got and the more people we've got doing it, not just on television, but all groups around the world doing it, the more possibility we've got of actually catching something that potentially is paranormal, which is great.
We do capture a figure in another episode that's coming up that is just fantastic, but I call it stone tape theory, which we'll talk to you at another time about that.
When that happens, because you'll have an awful lot of questions about that.
Yes,
you hit
you
the
will.
front page newspapers over here.
Over here, yeah.
And I think it was even spoken about in a couple of news programs over in the States as well. So you may have seen it. I know it was right over in Australia and Canada too. So it's good. I mean, we love doing it, and if you guys love watching it, and we are so pleased that the Travel Channel's put
so thank you. Well, listen, it's now coming up. Listen to Watson.
He's actually. Let me just show you Watson. Let's just be. Show Watson.
Oh, look how he is. Look at him.
Look at little Watson.
I know. Should we say goodbye now? We don't want to go, but I'm just thinking,
Yeah, you're probably bored of us by now.
Yeah, you're probably bored of us, but it'd be great. Well, it'd be lovely to speak to you all again, guys. And I hope you liked our house and the side of Mary's head. Go on, pop your face in just quickly. There she is. She's beautiful.
She'll do.
Oh, well, lots of love to you all, and thank you so very much for joining us here in our kitchen.
Yeah, in our kitchen
in Cheshire, and hopefully we'll see you very, very soon. And enjoy the show tonight on the Travel Channel and all future shows as well. Lots of love to you all in the USA. We love you, and see you soon.
We love you all. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Oh, we're still going.